And there we go. YouTube should be good to go. Morning. All right, so bottom wick off of S2 right here, still holding S2 on a slightly green candle, and coming on up. All right. Congrats on the website line. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's I'm happy to finally get it up and running here. So there'll probably be some growing pains, but we'll work through it, and we'll get that stuff rolling. All right, so bottom green off of S2. And we're coming back up here. I'm not going to look to take a play too early today. I don't want to be captured in this morning volatility as all the weekend volume, all the weekend players start to unravel their positions. There's going to be a lot of volatility coming up and down, so we'll figure out where that goes. If you are part of Tier 2, I did post the Zoom call in the Zoom call, the Tier 2 channel, so let me know if you don't get that. Had a great conversation about a lot of different topics last night, one of which actually applied to today's pre-market, so let me know if you have any questions about that. Still holding S2 here. Doesn't look like it wants to hold very strong. Let's take a look around the market. Apple sold off, as did Microsoft. Amazon's flat. Google's flat. And pretty much everything's about the same thing. So everything's red, roughly anywhere between half and 1% point down. Facebook is trying to flip green here. Financial sector XLF is green. And that leads me to the bond market, which is just about flat. Pretty much at their Friday close, right around the 116 area. And the 10 years are pretty much the same, about the flat. But this market does not look like it wants to buy up at all. Every green is just smashed, and there's another green candle right back down to S2. And then significant level here at 4011 that just got put on. And other than that, there's just a lot of noise everywhere. Nothing really of significance anywhere, except for way up at, ooh, look what they just did, 4100. Large level at 4100. Large level at 4010, and that's it. These levels are big, but nothing of significance compared to what's up there. So we'll see where they want to take us today and kind of go from there. The tech sector is dumping. Nasdaq has just dropped big time. They've already given up nearly 200 points since the little pre-market pop there. And oil is quite high. Apple is no longer the most valuable company in the world. Crazy stuff, as oil is raging to new highs. No position just yet. I'm going to let this stuff play out here and try to figure out, with all that volatility shaking and baking and the liquidity everywhere around, I'm going to be looking to see where this thing wants to take us. I currently have SPX up just for S's and G's. I've got 40/20s up on SPX, and just 40/20 calls. And then if we go lower, I'll look at 40/80 puts. But right now, I don't really know if I'm going to play puts or calls because we are pretty much pinned to S2 right now, and I want to look for extension either up or down. But it does look like it wants to dump. Very large level at 4010. There is a recording. Yep, there is a Zoom call recording. I posted it early this morning in the Zoom call chat. You do have to request access to it because it's on a Google Drive, and just request it and I'll approve you in. So, pretty stagnant movement so far. Nothing all that crazy. We still have this large level there. They've got this significant. Ooh, look at all this! Look at all this volume, this volatility they put way up high. Now, remember the video I posted this weekend about Bookmap? This is almost that exact setup where right at open they put on a crap ton of liquidity, very much higher. But first they dumped it, and then everyone forgot about the level that was way up there, and then we had that crazy rally on May 2nd where we went like 90 points right back up to it. So if they continue downward, still be aware of this level because that is a very significant level. That could be the weekly level, who knows? But still, there's a lot of liquidity at 4,100 right now. So be aware. Be aware. Very large level here at 4011, but nothing really of significance bound here except for these little two levels that are in the 300s, and that is it. Even down below, there's nothing of very large significance. Just a lot of here's and there's and light liquidity. So we'll see where they want to take us. Nasdaq still dumping. Now over, now going for a 200-point move down. $39.80. Yeah, $39.80. Thanks. So yeah, and we're just hanging out. I haven't taken any trades yet. This is I'm gonna let this shake out, and then maybe we'll come back up or come down. Who knows? So yeah, you should have gotten an email this morning or just recently here about the new website. So what I'm going to do is leave Patreon open as well as the website. So uh, if you want to stay on Patreon at least for now, that's fine. And then we'll just kind of transfer over the next few months. I'll leave it open for 2-3 months. We'll see. And then eventually the goal is to get everyone over to switch to the website so I can have a little bit more control over what I can offer you all and how I can manage the memberships. I would recommend though, if you have already signed up for Patreon, which obviously you have, you're here, is that don't sign up on the website until June 1st, so you don't get charged for this month as well as the new month. And the way the billing will work on the website is that if you sign up for, let's say you sign up on May 17th, you'll become a 30-day cycle from your sign up date, so you won't get charged again until June 17th and so on and so forth. So your billing recurring cycle will be on the day you sign up. So it'll be live here in 23 minutes at 9 o'clock Eastern Time or Central Time. It's not live yet. All right, so there's a green off of S3. Now watching the liquidity here, we still have got this 40-10, and then we've got the stuff way up high, way up high. It's not uncommon to have a bullish rally into OPEX, which is Friday. As the IV unwinds, as the option chain comes off, as the puts start to decay, and they start to take off their puts, it's not uncommon for this thing to go up. So we'll see. All right, so there's a bounce off S3 coming through S2 and trying to come right back to the open. EMAs are all like tied up together, no real trend right there. And VIX is coming off just a touch. I don't think it's fake. When I see that kind of volatility or liquidity up high, I don't think that's fake, but we'll watch it. Very considerable levels. That could be the weekly level. I know if you notice that, usually during a week there is a significant level that is like a 30 wide, like two levels that are about 30 wide apart. So we'll see if that actually does come into play today, but we'll see. So coming up, there we go. We're testing this 40-10 level, absorbing that. We'll see if we're going to grind through that, and it looks like we will, and it's gone. There you go. So nice little buying volume coming up through that level. Ate that up. Now we're going to see if we're going to go higher after a little bit of shakeout. Yep, I'm not trading the first few minutes here. I'm going to let this thing shake out here. Let's take a look over to the financials. Still dead flat. Bonds are still flat. And the 10 years are, for the most part, pretty flat. Big red candle on the VIX there. I've got this white line indicating the lower here, which is roughly about 28.5. We'll see if we take that out. Pre-market highs is way up here to R1, which is 402.22, about $1.50 up, but still pretty much flat. Am I shuffling a deck of cards? Yeah, it's my lucky deck of cards I'll just play with, fidget with. Let's come through here and take a look at the tech again. Apple's down and flat. Microsoft has got a little green. Ooh, look at Amazon. Amazon just took out their pre-market highs. They're going higher. Big pop in Amazon. Google, same as well. Tesla, we'll see if we go up. Facebook, big green on Facebook. Things are looking at least temporarily bullish for now. Any thoughts on wheat futures? I got to take a look at them, but I would anticipate a lot of volatility with the wheat futures coming up here in the next few months, especially as we get into the summer months, as the harvest from Ukraine is not necessarily having the output that we desire. So we'll see. I know there's a lot of talk about the agriculture industry, especially with that coming in and with Ukraine's output. All right, so the big old wick there. Big old, looks like a $1 wick right there. Killed that green candle right there. So the next liquidity here is at $39.95, and then there's still that stuff way up high at 41. A little bit here and there, but overall, it's pretty much scattered except for the outliers. The outliers. All right, Nasdaq's moving a touch higher. Let's take a look at Amazon because they were going high, but they top wick there. Facebook was also raging up pretty aggressively there. Apple, maybe it can start making a move. We'll see if we all set alarm here on Apple, see if that can make a move up higher. And XLF is pretty much flat. A lot of up and downs, red and greens here on XLF as it's, for the most part, flat. So Apple's moving higher. I just got an alarm there on Apple that it's moving higher. Those are pretty small items of the those are pretty small sectors though. So it all depends on how XLF and tech is going to act right here, whether or not it's going to support us or rage. So big old top wick again, still smashing this level. So the market definitely does not like this 401 level that's just under S1. We came up through it into the pre-market and then immediately sold off aggressively, and now that's 1, 2, 3 wicks into the zone with aggressive wicks and aggressive reversal candles, and that just smashed that candle. So be careful taking anything right here, this 401 area, as they just smash that. And I'm going to put another supply area right there. Sellers are still very much in the driver's seat. Still very much in the driver's seat. XLF just got destroyed. Bonds just spiked, killed that. And the 10-year just came off aggressively there too. So crazy volatility so far. No thanks. I'm just going to hang out here. European gas prices jumped 21%. Man, XLF just got destroyed. XLF, SPY is not going to be able to overcome any upward movement with that kind of action on XLF. That is significant. I mean, that just took out Friday's lows, blew past Friday's lows like it was nothing. So the bonds, big spike in the bonds there. So the bonds are coming up there in the rotation out of the financial sector. That's significant drop right there. That SPY just got destroyed. SPY just took out lows, and down we go. So liquidity is being put on lower. Watch out for 39.50. That's the next node way down low. Watch out for 39.50. Wow, look at that. Look at that. All right, I'm bringing up puts because I think we might dump here. Let's see if I can get under this thing. 39.70, as it looks like we're going to go down. This is egregious, people. Egregious. All the way down to S3. Wow. Wow. Talk about a move. So in the financial sector, that's why it's so important to monitor the financial sector and other sectors, because that right there was an absolute smoke show of a candle. And we just dumped from 401 all the way down to 398, a $3 dump right there on SPY as XLF just got destroyed. Financial sector is getting smoked right now. All right, so there's S4 already. Yeah, Bookmap is new. I've been using that for about a month and a half now, a little longer actually. So just a way for me to monitor liquidity. Now they're putting everything a little bit lower here. We've got pretty much nothing except lower and then very higher. So little light stuff there, but the big nodes are way up there at 4,100. And then, of course, we are looking at this stuff here, 39.50, which ES is already 39.85, which is another 35 points lower. Given this market conditions here with XLF dumping, right now my target's on 39.50. I'm not sure if we're going to get there, but I'll be looking for that. All right, looking like we're breaking lower. SPY is about to take out session lows. Nasdaq is trying to test that. VIX is still moving sideways at the moment. Big red, big green, relatively neutral there, and a bottom wick there. XLF is still putting in lows. Healthcare is there. What happened to the big dogs on tech? So Amazon sold all the way off. Facebook's starting to do the same and still dropping. That was another red candle there. Not looking good. So it looks like they want to transact this level here, this 39.70, 39.80, before going to 39.50. Currently looking at 39.70 puts. 39.70 puts. This is why we don't play the market open. Yeah, definitely. Nice, above. Well done. Crazy, crazy stuff. So watch this level right here, 39.78. I'm still looking above. I'm making sure that they don't put on a level somewhere in the close vicinity to kind of fake us out. But right now, liquidity is still pointing lower. 39.50 is next on the radar. Man, this candle right here does not want to give up. So those wicks right there, you got to be careful with these wicks. So that's you got, if you're on positions, you got to be on your toes there. Yep, if we close this week red, it would be 7 red weeks in a row. The market doesn't like to do that. You see that we almost made a green close on Friday. We almost tried to flip it green on Friday before that the sell-off saved the red candle there at the end of the day. I would definitely be surprised if we closed this week red, 7 weeks in a row red. It very well could happen, but I would be surprised. So, all right, so they just put on a very large level at 39.85. Maybe that's a spoof. We'll see. And they just trimmed that 39.50 a little bit, but significant at 39.85. Careful there. Big old bottom wick green candle. All right, so that level's gone. Big green buy up there, so they took it off and turned back to that. Now ES is going up to maybe 39.90. Crazy stuff. All right, so we're coming up on the first 20 minutes of the day. No positions for them now. I'm just kind of letting this thing play out. Nice SPY Hunter. Got 5 points off SPY. Well done. And right at 398. That went all me. You got to make the trade. You got to make the trade. What's up, Jonathan? How you doing, buddy? And there's a buy off of right here at this level. Doesn't want to go lower here. Definitely a lot of wicks still fighting this candle. VIX is still holding here. XLF, I'm going to put one at 33. Alarm here, and I'm going to do 33.10 to see which way that's going to go. Nice, Jonathan. 15%. Well done. Luna. It's crazy that people are still talking about Luna after what it did. Crazy stuff. All right, so a little bit of green there. The buyer's defense off of this level. Moving back up just a touch. Very light liquidity book in the immediate area, here. So XLF is coming back up. To maintain position size, would you rather trade one contract with a higher delta, closer to the money, or two contracts with a lower delta? I'd rather trade two. I'd rather trade two contracts. So you have the ability to scale out. So, not to mention you're gonna get a little bit more aggressive gains when you're trading, especially if you catch a runner, and you have the ability to scale out. Obviously, with two contracts, you could cut the position in half and get out. That's one contract is pretty much all in. There you go. Excellent. It's an excellent point to be in. It'll give you a little more flexibility too. It very well could be, Mohammed. Very well could be. How much do you like the theta plays? I do love the theta plays when the market conditions are appropriate. I don't like trading theta in these particular market conditions because the moves are too aggressive and there's a little bit too many unknowns. And yeah, I could probably throw on some theta trades if I wanted to, but the problem is when you're wrong, if you're wrong, which in this environment is a very good chance that you could be wrong, you're done. The moves are so aggressive that it's hard to defend these positions without being completely accurate 100% of the time. All it takes is one misstep with the credit spread, and you're done. Like that'll wipe out weeks and weeks and months of profits. So even if you hedge, it's difficult here, and the moves are so aggressive. It's difficult to hedge with futures. It is difficult to hedge a credit spread with futures because futures are 1-to-1. So you need to get in the options chain to start defending your credit spreads. So, if you have for example, a call credit spread, you need to start hedging with long futures or long options. I'm sorry, to defend against those losses because the 1-to-1 gains you get on the futures are just not simply enough to overcome the huge moves that we're getting on the price action. So. You could do debit spread. Yeah, debit spread would be a way to go as well. I'm talking more in the lines of credit spreads because that's usually where the questions are tailored to. But yeah, you could do debit spreads. Debit spreads would be good. And you can always turn a long option into a debit spread as well, or a credit spread for that matter. If you take a credit spread and it doesn't necessarily go your way, you could turn it into a debit or credit spread, depending on whatever situation you're in. That's a little more advanced position management, which is something you very much need to learn how to do. If you take an option and it doesn't go against you, then consider turning into a credit spread or a debit spread. So right back to the 8 EMA. Once again, wicked. The sellers are still here. There's no buyers. Buyers cannot hold a green candle for nothing. Keeps wicking out, keeps reversing. So let's take a look at the book map here. Still nothing. So a lot of just pulling and pushing right here. Still got that 39.50 level, which is pretty significant, but a lot of light liquidity there, and then the 4,100 is still there. Huge liquidity at 4,100. Still no plays. I'm just hanging out, talking. Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, XLF. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. 12,300 is a decent level there. It's coming back off, and then you've got 12,100, which is roughly about the same locale as the 39.50 on ES. Another sell-off right there, right back to the day's lows on Nasdaq. All right, Aaron, so let's take a look. So let's say on the SPY chart right here, let's just use, I'll go to SPX since I trade SPX options. Let's trade SPX 39.97. Let's say you take an outside the money call, I don't know. Let's say, for example, you think SPX is going to hit 40.50. So you take 40.50 calls today. So you long 40.50 calls. Obviously, right here, you expect to start going up. But what if this starts tanking? Or what if it, let's say it comes to here and then it reverses and starts really blasting downward? So you think that it's going to go up, but the price action goes against you, and we have a severely bearish day. Well, you've got a 40.50 long call now. Well, you can short the closer to the money call. So if this does start to retrace and go down heavily, you can short 40.40s against your long calls and turn into a credit spread. But you have to make sure that your short leg is below your long leg, and you also have to make sure that the premiums for the short call are higher than the long call, otherwise you'll be a debit spread. So make sure that the premiums you go with the shorter stuff, the short leg that's closer to the money, higher premiums, you turn into a credit spread, and now you've got a bearish position. You've now essentially frozen the losses on your credit spread on your long option and turn it into a credit spread. So if that price continues to decline, all you're doing is waiting for that position to go decay into nothing, and then you collect that entire credit. Now there's a little bit more in depth. Say this does tank all the way back down. Let's say 39.30. It decays your credit spread into, I don't know, 90% profit, 95% profit, and then maybe you get signs that this is going to rage back up, bounce back up. Well, you could cover the short leg. You can cover the short leg, close that out, get your profit, and now all you've got left is pretty much a worthless long call at 49 or 40.50. So in the event we get the crazy V recovery, now you've got a long leg that'll probably go back in the money if we get a crazy rally. And now you'll make money on the long option too. So there's a lot of different ways to manage a losing position, and of course you could just close it out. But what I just mentioned, that kind of strategy to turn a long option to a credit spread, you have to have the capital, because then if you put on a credit spread and you're wrong, then you have to start managing the wrong credit spread or closing it out, or turning into a debit spread. So yeah, you just got to be aware of that kind of stuff. A lot of different ways to manage positions. There's a lot of different ways to manage positions, but you have to have the capital to defend those particular positions when you start doing that kind of stuff. Nice, sir, Andre. Quick 10%. OM posted the market analysis and went back to bed. What do you mean? Are your S&R levels fibs drawn in the previous day action or price? They are price levels. I calculate those based on several different data points, but they're not fib levels now. So far, there's no buyer strength whatsoever. 39.50 does appear to be on the menu for the morning if this keeps up. So what I'm going to do, bring up the chain. I'm going to flip over to 39. Let's see where we're at. 39. I'm going to look at 39.70 still. Puts. Nasdaq is about to put in new lows again. Another dump right there. Wow. New lows, Nasdaq. So Nasdaq is here. Let's see if the ES. The ES does look like it wants to come down and touch this 39.50, but we're going to see here. We're going to see. Options expiration. Yeah, options expiration. So Friday is the mid-month expirations of options of the SPX options contracts, which there's a lot of volatility associated with that because that's when you get the rebalancing. When people start playing, they have their positions come off and they're going to start putting on positions for the next period, as well as, for example, in this case, a lot of puts that are necessarily in the money, they're going to start decaying, so those are going to be closed out, and you're going to get a lot of volatility associated with that. 12.95% on SPX. Nice, Damien. All right, so we keep coming on down and testing this zone here. It keeps touching it. Every time it touches it, there's an immediate wick. It cannot hold two candles down in this level. So that tells me that there are buyers waiting here, but at the same time, there's a lot of selling action in this market. Also, you've got the Friday afternoon lows, which are right here, that we need to be aware of, which is just under S5. I appreciate it, Damon. I love this community, and I appreciate you being here. So, thank you. So S5, S4 right now, still on the downward trend, and we're still holding right here, just over S5. I do have S6 calculated in the event that we need it. And I've got 39.70 puts up and ready. Yeah, so there is a 8 EMA rejection there, and Nasdaq is here, and VIX is still holding 29.5, 29.19. Good to go. Voice is good. All right, let me know. So yeah. All right, so I'm still waiting for a play here. I'm going to let this thing shake out, but this is some nasty, nasty price action so far. Nasty price action. There's a bottom wick green off of that, and that is already a $2 move off of the day's lows. So we entered this area, bounced again. No liquidity here, and now we're coming right back up. Right back up. Would it be fair to say that the price action is below the 21, you're basically bearish and conservatively? No. There's too many variables to make that generalization. It all depends on the relative movement of those EMAs. So if the price is below the E21 EMA and the EMA is consistently trending downward, but there's still so many variables that I have to analyze before making that determination. No positions yet. No. How does anyone successfully trade in this market? Right now, I'm not trading it. I'm just sitting here watching it. Very, very choppy. This is nasty action. No clear direction at the moment, and we're coming right back to the 21 here. Strong movement on the Nasdaq coming back up, and SPY is making a move back to the open. Sometimes it works out that way. Sometimes it works out that way. Nice, Marino. Well done. Bookmap is still the same. Yeah. Closest liquidity is 39.50. And then if we got stuff that's way up at 4,100. There's a little bit here congestion in mid 4,000s, like 40.50, 40.60. But this is a strong move off Nasdaq. And right back to S2 on SPY. I know you said that last time, Shills. I always post it. So when I'm in a play, I'll post it. Right now, there's nothing. Right now, there's nothing. VIX is coming on down to 29.80. Let's see if we can make a move below 29.80. 29.77 is that level on the VIX that I'm looking at. If it extends, maybe we'll get a rally here. But decent recovery here, 397.73 to 400, so about a $2.5 move there. And the Bookmap is still kind of eating up through this liquidity. $2.5, yeah. $2.5. Right now, I am just figuring out where this thing's going to go. Here we are. We're right back to open. Right back to the open market here. Right back to S2. To the 34. There's no liquidity on Bookmap to really drive us in any particular direction. Right now, I am trading zeros. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, patience. Sometimes, we take play early, sometimes we don't. And this day right here, I don't like this action at all. So I'm going to wait for a decent move here, and then we'll jump on and get us a play. There's some nice green back to S2. Yeah, this is the type of the day that's got me flipping back and forth between calls and puts, and I don't like those days because it's a low confidence trade that has me scrambling, and I don't like that. So here's through S2 again, right back to the 50, and pretty much back to the open, give or take. It's a crapshoot up here on the book map. Take a look at the Nasdaq. It wants to go up to looks like 12,400, which is the next level on there, and it looks like it does want to go up there. It's a strong move here, strong move. Yep. So let's see if we can identify some key trends for now. So let's come here. So right now, look at that. It's just like a megaphone pattern, which is just a sign of volatility. These megaphone patterns, the only thing they really tell you is volatility. Where you have these higher highs, lower lows, it creates this opening megaphone. So if you break above, if we do break the pattern, then I'll close out this pattern here. But right now, it's just volatility. Volatility. This is what it looks like. Yeah, if you hit the username password, it'll be your Discord login. Yeah. And there's a rejection right off that megaphone pattern. And S2. $551 people watching. If you like what you see, hit that like button for me. Helps us gain a little bit, grow a little bit, get those algorithms kicking. Let me know if you got any questions while we sit here and wait for a good entry. If we break up above here, maybe we'll start testing up to the mid 4,000s and start testing this liquidity. If we come lower, this 39.50 is still on my radar if we go lower. But right now, I need to react to what I'm seeing. We're currently at the 50. The EMAs are starting to turn up here. The volume is oscillating in and out with this one kind of dying off right there. And the other markets are doing the same, pretty much coming back up here. So everything else is pretty much in cohesion, which is a good sign once we get a move. I don't see anything that's kind of going away from the trend until we see an absolute move. And now healthcare is a little strong here. That's because UNH is strong. It's up 0.3. And there's a red off of just at S2. Yeah, there you go, Andy. You just got to wait. You just got to be patient. No, it's not perfectly 10 to 1. I post a conversion in the market analysis. It's not perfect, but it gets you a little bit closer than just dividing by 10. If you really want to get it dialed down, then just form the actual, whatever you want to actually form on the charts. But I do a conversion that gets you in the ballpark. It gets you pretty close, which is just like times 10 plus. I think today was 7 and change, 7.7 or something like that. It's not a perfect 10 to 1. All right, there's some green on the Nasdaq here, and up through S2, and let's see if we can make a move to S1. I'll get your UL. We're working on something. Hold on. Right now, I just want to focus on getting into play. Take a look at the 40-20 calls. 40-20 calls. All right, VIX just broke new lows. Let's see if that can start to send downward. $40.55 is the next level. 404, 40, 50, and a little higher. Ooh, Nasdaq, decent level at 12,463. So, which I think is back where we were pre-market. A little lower than that. So, way up here, if that makes a move upwards. Bonds are came back off a little bit, brought a little bit of bullishness into the XLF there, and the yields came off good there too. So we definitely want to see the yields continue to come off if you want tech to continue to rally. Have a good day. Rotation into the tech with the yields coming off. So we're about 0.3 negative here, waiting to make a green move back into green, which is roughly S1 is roughly green on the day. If we can get there right now, having some trouble. Having some trouble. Let's do a poll. See what y'all got. All right, posted. Let me know what y'all think. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, if you want to convert to a SPY, there you go. That's the equation right there. A little bit of algebra. I know it's a little. It's just a good way to get it close. It's a good way to get it close. You're welcome. You're welcome. Has anyone taken trade ideas from the Flowbots? Oh, nice. I haven't taken those. All right, in the general chat, I am going to post the link to the website. I guess I got to do the HTTP, don't I? There you go. All right, it is posted live, ready to go. Make sure you hit the username and password, which is in the top right, in order to sign in with your Discord account, so you can link that. But right now, let's see if we can get a trade. Nasdaq, NQ. NQ. All right, so we are going a touch higher here. Let's see if we can break the prior swing high, which I'm going to put right there. It's one of those dynamic levels we talked about in the Zoom call. Those dynamic levels provide a good indication of where the market's going to adjust. 40-20 calls, looking at that. Almost got an entry here. Currently looking at $21, $28, $20, $30. Kind of bounce all over the place if we can move up from here. Volume is dying off, yeah. So that's why I'm waiting for an entry here. I'm doing SPX. If you're doing SPY, you can look at 399s or 402s. Bookmap's still the same, yep. Above here, we can start looking at potentially with Nasdaq moving up to 12.4. Now Nasdaq is starting to put on a lot of stuff here at 12.5,000 or 500. Ooh, a little level there at 40.20, and maybe some mid 45s here or there. Had a 30% put, now I got a 32% call. Got to save the rest. Nice, Sasquatch. Awesome stuff. I stream every day. Yeah, Eileen, I stream every day on Discord. Yep. The Bookmap in TOS is different, yes. Yep, that's a good way to do it too. There you go. Bookmap versus TradingView. TradingView is a charting software where you do all your charting and your analysis. Bookmap is a tool in which you monitor the market's liquidity. Right back up to the dynamic level, which is the day's highs. Looking for a move to break back green on the day after a significant move from 397.5 to 401. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because if you can look for large levels, for example, last week, there was a very significant level way down low that it was something that you want to be aware of as the market moved throughout the week. So you can look for large levels that stay on the entire week. It'll kind of give you a good indication of where the market wants to go, especially when we start heading that direction. That's the overall goal, the overall target for the market. So another rejection of this level, and all I'm gonna do is shift this demand zone over to tell me that is where the buyers want to fail, the sellers want to kick in. Still, that's where we fizzled out yesterday, or I'm sorry, on Friday, and that's where we fizzled out on post-market, and then we kind of popped through it briefly before aggressively selling off in pre-market, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections on this and during today. Yes, liquidity is more open orders. We don't necessarily know if they're buyers or sellers. All we can do is monitor the size. That's why I filter out the small stuff and I only look at the very large levels of liquidity because I don't know what the intentions are. My only goal is to monitor what the market wants to do based on the size and the price action. So watch out for this 40-20 level. It's still light. There's not all that much here aside from the shading. So let's look. If we break here, I'll be looking for 40-50, maybe 40-40 if we do move upwards there. But right now, another failure. Right now, you need to be on YouTube in order to see it. Discord does have stages, but they are very limited on how many people can actually join. If I'm using Robinhood, I can't trade SPX. Is there a way around this? Yeah, you could trade SPY, but unfortunately, no, Robinhood, you're just going to have to go with a different broker for that standpoint. Big rejection. Right there. It could be thought of that way, yeah. All right, so that was a decent sell-off right there, 401.39 already. It's over a dollar candle, big volume going down to 12,300 on the Nasdaq. We'll see how it responds from here. So a lot of crazy shaking and baking reversals, very large candles. So if you're playing, make sure you're setting stops and you're in and out quickly. Nice, Ruth. Excellent. Love to hear it. Nicer, Andre. So they are putting on more at 30.50. I'm sorry, 39.50. So keep an eye on there. You can see it got a little darker there. They just went from like 309 to 360. So they're putting more liquidity at 39.50. Whereas up above, we still have this 40.50 area. Wait for a good entry here. I am monitoring those, but when I opened up my Bookmap this morning, it removed them for some reason. I'm having an error getting them back on. So after the trading session's over, I'll want to sign off. I'm going to go back in and re-add everything. But yes, the stops in the icebergs. Going to 38.90. This week, I wouldn't be surprised, for sure. So they did put on a significant level here at 38.60, 38.67. So that's new. They put that on not too long ago. So what, right there? Right at 8:45, 9:45 Eastern Time. I missed that. So they put on a larger level, and they've been bolstering that one. 38.70. And then 39.50. But we still have this 4,100 level here too. So let's see for a break which one we're going to touch first. Immediate area is the 4,055. Right now, I'm not sure, Zan. If we break above here, we'll scalp some calls on the way up. If we fail and go back down, then I'll start taking some puts. I'm ready. I am ready to take a position. I haven't taken one yet, but there's a lot of crazy candles and a lot of crazy volatility right now. They do. Price action does tend to gravitate towards the large liquidity areas. Not everything. It doesn't work perfect, but the large liquidity. Look at that. Big buy up right there. Big buy up. I'm looking at the 40-20 calls here. Currently trading for $23. If we can hold this candle, I do not want to get reversed. That's a decent move right there. Nasdaq, its liquidity, close by liquidity, is up higher, up that 12,464. Another big rejection of S1. Got to be careful. Got to be careful. That was a very large green candle too. Very large move by the buyers. The volume is starting to drop off just a touch here off of our S1. VIX is still holding. Dealer's choice, man. Dealer's choice. I want to see where this week is going to start going. We've got an argument for up and down. But man, the sellers are smashing everything. That's a big reversal. A reversal of a reversal of a reversal. Smashed. XLF. Man, everything across the board had a red candle there. So, a little bit of level here at 40.20. A lot of liquidity here, spread out from 40.40 all the way down to our current location. There's not all that much below us, except for way down at 39.50. So, just be very patient. It's going to need. I need a lot of conviction here for me to take a play. These moves are very hard and fast, and liquidity spread all over the place. These $1 and $2 candles are not conducive to great confident trade on 0DT positions. Big sell on the Nasdaq right there. Man, what a smoke show. Back through S1, S2. Can it hold? That's a little VWAP. Check up on the VWAP there. All over. The price action is all over the place. Green, down, up, down again. Hey, 5% still 5%. Cliff tonight. No, you can use Bookmap for anything. You can do individual tickers as well. So if you notice, I got Tesla right here. I do monitor these things just in case you want to plop into any of these big tech trades. Apple, right here. I've got Amazon as well. So Amazon looks like the larger node for there is way down at 2200. A very, very large level. So across the board, there are some significant levels way down. You got 145 on Apple. Tesla, let's take a look at them. They got crap all over the place. 800 on Tesla, but that's Tesla. Holding 4,000 at the moment. Another 15%, nice, Sir Andre. For the volume indicator, what number you suggest the MA to be? 20? What do you mean? Not sure what you mean. So 4020, yep, they did remove 4020. They still have this 4,000. Watch a Bookmap video during my morning 5 a.m. workout. Awesome stuff, thanks. Good work working out. It's a great time to watch it. Bookmap and TOS any good? No, it's not actually Bookmap. Um, you're not going to get an accurate representation of Bookmap. It's a good, kind of intro. Hey, this is what it could offer, but it's not actually Bookmap. Yeah, it's definitely a useful tool. Once again, the key word there is tool. I still want you to learn a very conservative, a very responsible trading system, and then use Bookmap to kind of help you out. Just like anything in the financial world or in the investing world, a tool is just a tool, and you need to learn the craft before you start to fully rely on tools. But Bookmap is a fantastic tool. If you are looking to sign up, though, I do have an affiliate link. It'll help you save a little bit of money, depending on which package you select. So let me know, and I could shoot that link over to you. Still holding S2, but it doesn't look like for much longer. And right now we're still holding VWAP. So let's see how they do this. Are they going to chop us here and then move us? Because there's a little bit of discrepancies between where I'm seeing levels. ES, the big level is lower, immediate level, and then way higher. And for Nasdaq, the immediate is higher. So we've got there 12,300. They just put on 374, and then up here 12,485, which is roughly about the 4350 area. I'm sorry, the 4050 on ES right here. Thinking of buying puts? Maybe. TradingView is awesome. Yeah, I have a TradingView link too, so if you want to save some money on TradingView, I've got that as well. All on the website, by the way. I've got all my affiliate links linked on the website. Is it possible to option trade on Robinhood? Yes, it is. You are limited. For example, you can't do SPX. But yes, you can trade on Robinhood. It's good for beginners, I guess. But once you get a good grip and good feel for how to option trade, I would definitely recommend moving away from Robinhood. I would recommend Andy Coley's book for beginners. The Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis is a fantastic book. It's a great book for getting in and learning kind of why and how price action is price action. What does volume mean? So if you definitely want a good understanding of volume and price, please read that book. And I would recommend that book first and foremost from a technical standpoint over other books. And then, of course, you've got emotional books to learn how to be an emotionally mature trader, which are another conversation. Yes, it is, JP. The Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis. Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis. I've got that linked to my website as well. I've got all my investing resources linked on my website where you can go to and check out which ones I like, which ones I've read. Taking almost a year off of trading to needing to mature as a trader. Finally back. Nice, cheese train. Let's hope we can turn that cheese train into a gravy train, baby. Choo choo. Trading His Own is a great book as well. Yes, that's a great one for for being an emotionally investing trader, emotionally mature trader. I don't like emotional advising books. Yeah, there. I kind of agree with you there, just because everyone's different. Only you know you. Some people are more emotional than others. Some people are more hair on fire than others. I would probably recommend looking at generalized emotional maturity books like Discipline, like the Extreme Ownership, Can't Hurt Me, those type of things, because once you start looking at the extreme ownership, it forces you to take ownership of your wrongdoings, your misdoings, your errors, and it forces you to like, all right, well, if there's a reason why I continue to make a wrong play, there's a reason why. It's not the market. It's because you are doing something wrong. And that's the big thing. Once you can kind of realize that you are doing something wrong, you can start identifying the what, when, and how, and then of course do a trading log. And it really helps you really start to dial in what is going on. So breaking down here, looking at the 4,000, decent selling volume popping in. SPY does not like this 401 area. Several rejections. I mean, if you even go back and look till Friday, I mean, right in this area, we do not like hanging out in this area. So the buyers got some work cut out for them today if they want to go higher. Severed W Dog. I love it. I love it. Little bottom wick right off here. So far, yep, it is a range day. We'll see how this price action is going to shake out here. So on ES, let's zoom in just a touch. A lot of noise here. A lot of noise. Except for this 40-50 area. A lot of chop. A lot of chop. Oh, man. So, not as fun as last week so far. If you're able to make a couple of green plays, well done. Well done. Still holding on to S2. If you have noticed, especially if you are new to the community, my SR levels are the red and green lines you see on the chart here. The horizontal green and red lines here. Some of them are highlighted with a plus sign next to it. That's indication of a strong calculated level. And we are now on S2, which is a strong level. I do have an S6 calculated. It is a significant level that we need to be aware of, and I'll post that if we need it. But right now we're still holding. Right here. Holding this trend line for the moment. But gonna be wired, yeah. All right, there is a pop lower through that prior candle, through under S2. Hey, look at that. That's probably going to be a spoof there, but look at that level they just put on at 4001. Huge, huge level. But they'll probably take it right back off. They just shifted it lower. So it looks like somebody trying to get out or a spoof. Interesting. They just shifted it all lower too. Look at that. Look at that. And now they just took it off, so that is gone. Let's go back to the charts there. Big red candle right through S3 now. And it looks like we're going to have a test of that 399 lower level. Oh yeah, absolutely, spoofing. When I see a spoof, which is a very, very large level of liquidity that they put on and then take off almost immediately, that's market manipulation. I mean, that's exactly what they just did. What just did right there. They had a very, very, I'm talking 1,000 right here at 4,000, and they took back off. Do I ever get overflow with info with all these charts and tools? I mean, I keep things pretty limited. Uh, I don't. There's a lot of people that do go down the rabbit hole, and they got crap everywhere and flow data and all this stuff. I just look at these two things. I look at my charts, and I look at Bookmap. I monitor the market itself, and then I use Bookmap for some potential zones. Range days, it's hard to really follow Bookmap. You have to look if we catch a trend. I really want to look at the large stuff, and today's pretty much a large width range day. So right now, I'm just hanging out until I see a big move one way or the other. Nice, Co. All right, so still holding S3. Coming up on 11 o'clock Eastern Time, we've got 40 minutes until the UK market closes. If I only had to pick two indicators, what would they be? Only two indicators. Hopefully I could use my SR levels. That would be one of them. What would be the next one? The volume candles. The volume candles. Man, big move lower. It looks like we are going to come down and attack the prior lows, 397. 39.90, it appears to be a decent level. Still relatively light, though. And then we still have this 39.70 they're putting on, but overall it's 39.50 still. TLT. TLT came up to 116.5. It's not a double bottom yet. We still have a little bit of ways to go here, about $1.50 to get down that far. No, I mean, there's a lot of sporadic liquidity, but it's not as organized as last week, that big ladder to the downside. This is a little not as clear cut. Not as clear cut. The overall big level, though, on upside or downside is we got 38.68 on ES, and then way up above is the 41.14. So roughly, we're roughly equidistant between the high and the low volume node on the Bookmap for ES. All right, so putting in a new low right there, still trickling on down. Definitely coming all the way back down, it appears. 39.90 for the moment. Do I think the Bookmap is a worthy tool for the average trader? It depends. Once again, remember, it's just a tool. So if you don't have a good foundation in your system, then no tool is really going to help you. So you have to start developing your particular system. What kind of trader are you going to be? A volume price, whatever it is. Start to develop fundamentals and rules. That's the big thing. Is you have to have a set of rules on which you're going to follow. You're not going to trade the first 30 minutes of the day, or you're going to wait for confirmation, or you're always going to set a stop, or whatever the rule is. You got to set of rules. Start following a system, and then you can start tying in a system like Bookmap. This is starting to look like computer selling here. 12.25. It looks like Nasdaq is a couple of points away from testing the session lows, which is right here. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So Nasdaq is a few points away from testing overnight lows again. SPY, another big rejection, and we're smack dab right now. Well, not smack dab, a little bit lower, but still in this little range right here. Want to see this thing make a move. Took several months off trading, keep up with the server. Today's my first day back. Awesome stuff. Welcome back. Glad to have you back, Bronny. Close to a year ago, yeah. A lot of changes. Let me know if you need help kind of coming back in. I do hold stocks long term. Yeah, I do. How do you factor in dividends? Dividend reinvestment of the few dividends that I do. So far, there's zero buyer strength. Ever since about 8 o'clock last night, the sellers stepped in and have never let their foot off the gas pedal. Every time there's any green, smash it. So until that happens, I mean, you could see this is a straight ladder attack here, just down, 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 down. Now they're moving this thing back even lower, down to S5. So it looks like we're not going to have a rally today unless things change into the afternoon. Maybe after European close, maybe we'll get some relief here, but still, right now, everything is looking low. In fact, Nasdaq is only a couple of points away from putting in a new low on the day, so not looking good. So what I'm going to do here is look at puts to test the day's lows. And let's take a look at fourth. No, I'm already there. So I'm going to take a look at 39.70s again. Very slow movement so far in the past few minutes. Another move lower. So when you see this type of movement here, that's straight computers right here, where just every candle is just like systematically lower. No real deviation from this. That tells me they're going to bring it all the way back down. So let's take a look at the global. What are they doing? Which is here. Bam, new low right there. Nasdaq just put in a session low. Not good for tech. What are the 10 years doing? 10 years are coming off aggressively there. The bonds are spiking, 116. And VIX is popping back up. Now VIX isn't down. VIX is I mean, it went down this morning, but it is creeping up here. It bounced from 28 up to 29 on this little move down. So it's moving back up just slowly. This price action has been grinding lower. It hasn't dumped. It's just been grinding lower. And there's a little bounce off of the low of the day for the Nasdaq. Do the Q options move much faster than SPY? No, it all relative to the price action. So another bounce off S4. Not very strong though, very weak. Can you briefly explain how delta works? I'm trying to understand a bit, but it's difficult. Absolutely. So delta is one of the first Greeks that you should learn about. If you start going down the rabbit hole of learning Greeks, that's pretty much the first one. Oh, so big sell there. That's pretty much the first one you're going to learn about. And that is, if you go look in the options chain, the delta, you're going to have a point value, so 0.4, 0.3, so on and so forth. It's going to be sub 1. And that value is going to be how much your premiums change given a 1 point move of the underlying price. In this case, if we're talking about SPY, if SPY moves $1, then you can guess that, or you can calculate that your premiums of the option that you're looking at will move the same value of the delta. So if you have a delta of 0.4, then your premiums are going to move 0.4 for per every 1 point move of the SPY. Now, if you start, there is a lot more to it. Obviously, you've got gamma, which reflects delta, and you've got theta that comes into play as well. But that's the definition of delta. Also, you can also look at delta as a probability. So if your delta is 0.4, then you could say there's a 40% probability that position goes in the money before the expiration. It's also a way to identify the skew of the market. So if you've got the deltas are favoring or very heavy on the call side, then you can say the market is favoring the call side to the upside on the options chain. However, normally, most of the time, the deltas are favoring the puts just because that's the nature of the market, the volatility of the market. Because they pay more when it actually does happen, because most of the time the market goes up. Those are not Heikin-Askies, which is funny because that's what a ladder attack looks like Heikin-Askies, because they're very, very uniform, and they just constantly take out the prior candle, prior candle. In a high VIX environment, when playing to the long side, would it make sense to use a 3-buy ETF instead? Since there will be no data decay, you could use a big position to make up for less leverage. Potentially, yeah, if you know how to do that, absolutely. Position delta, I feel, is important to understand as well. Yeah, absolutely it is for risk management, because your delta is going to manage your exposure, especially if you're going to start writing premium. There's things called delta hedging, and then if you are going to be writing premium, you need to look at what your deltas you're playing so you can play the commensurate hedging against that position. What's called delta neutral. What kind of things are you in Patreon/Discord? Do you give out live alerts? I do. When I trade, I post them live in whichever. I've got 4 different trade channels. I've got a day trades, theta trades, swing positions, and futures trades. So whatever trade I take is what I post in those rooms. I try to notify as fast as possible. But mainly we're an educational server, more so than a play calling. I don't like to use play calling as our main emphasis. Our main emphasis is education. Answer questions, talk about all different types of systems, whether it be something I trade or something I don't trade, and try to just narrow down what can we do to help you become a better trader. I am shifting over to a website, though, away from Patreon to my own website. So I did post the link to the website in the description of the YouTube video. So check that out. Let me know what you think. Candle smoked. Red candle. Looks like we're about to put in a low. Straight red on the 3-minute for the past 30 minutes. Not looking good. All right, so 3080 is getting bolstered, which is 9 points below. 3870 end of day. Look at that candle. Holy crap. Look at that candle. Booyah. As long as you do it before June 1st. I recommend that if you've already paid up on Patreon, don't sign up until June 1st. So you won't be double charged. You'll get the full month and then you'll be double charged. When you do sign up on the website, whatever billing date you sign up on, that'll be your recurring date. So if you sign up on the 16th, you'll get a recurring payment every 16th. Man, look at that red candle. All right, so they have cleared pretty much everything in the general vicinity on ES, except for way up higher. And now they're starting to put on stuff lower and lower. We got 3980, 3950, and then 3909. Nice, Profits Reaper. I'm going to leave the Patreon up for a few months to give people like time to shift over. But eventually, over the next few months, I will shut down the Patreon. It'll be, I'm not sure. I'll probably do 3 months, but we'll see. Yeah, once I'm on the website, I'll be using that for hosting the Zoom calls. All the data, that will be the way that I organize my information. So the Zoom calls, any documentation, educational materials, everything will be on the website. That way we can get away from the Google Drive. Correct. Yeah, I have no way to manually move you over to the website, so I can't touch your payment information. So y'all are gonna have to do that. So when you are ready, cancel your Patreon at the end of the month, and then very close to the end of the month, switch over to the website. That's correct. You'll have to cancel your Patreon and then sign up on the website. Yes. I definitely would prefer the website because the reason why I'm making this, well, one of the main reasons I'm making this change is so I can have better control over the memberships. So I can offer raffles, so I can do any kind of events, stuff like that. Right now, I can't do raffles. I can't do anything like that. It's against the Patreon rules, so I can't do that with Patreon. So with website, I can. So the sooner I get everybody over to Patreon, the better. I'm sorry, over to the website. The link is down in the description of the YouTube video, so head down there, click on it, copy link. I'll put it in the chat room too. Anyway. Looks like we got a little green off S4 here. Yes, you should check the Patreon messages, and you'll see how we're handling that. Yep, you are currently grandfathered in. Yes, I'm leaving everybody grandfathered in until January 1st. So the rest of the year you'll be grandfathered in at the current rate. That's just because we've had so many changes that I wasn't anticipating over the past few months. I'm just kind of say thank you for hanging out with us and dealing with all this stuff. So this will be the last changes we experience for a while. That's for sure. As we get settled in for the long haul. Bounce off S4. After January, I'll be moving everyone over to the $25. It'll be the same rates we have now, which with the current rates, which are 25 for tier 1. All right, bottom wick here. VIX is coming off slightly. XLF is dead flat for now. A little bit of green. Coming up on European close. Thanks, Murphy's Outlaw. Appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome. S4. So these are my calculated levels right here. R2, R1, S1. You see all these levels. These are my levels I calculate before every open of the market. I try to post them by 9 o'clock Eastern time. And then the highlighted levels are my significant levels that I've calculated to be of importance. Another sell-off of the green. No buyer strength whatsoever. So no trades just yet. Nasty action. Do you have a link to show how you have your Bookmap set up and which plan? I set my, here, I'll see my configurations. I'll show you all my configurations. Settings, configuration. These are my configurations here. And I'll post them in the, let's see. I'll do the market analysis channel. How about that? That's my configuration for the Bookmap. And right now, I'm looking at the DX feed. I got to reset up the rhythmic feed for some reason. It did not show up this morning and won't allow me to log in, but I'll do the rhythmic as well. You're welcome. Looking around here. 14 minutes till the euro closes. How do I feel about playing a strangle today? I don't. I would not play a strangle. Are we talking about a short strangle or long strangle? I would not do any straddle or strangle today. I think it's the market's right now. It's a little too choppy. Short strangle, potentially, if you did it wide enough. If you want to strangle this or an iron condor, just got to do it wide. We've got this 4,000 level on ES. If you notice that over the course of the morning, they've pretty much wiped everything. There's not really anything within 30 points of either direction except for this right here. And then, of course, 39.50. And it does appear they want to take us lower before going higher, but we just got to stay on our toes. You're welcome, Free Mind Conspiracy. Nope, Discord's still here. We're just changing up the membership method. We're switching the Patreon over to YouTube, the website. So Discord will still be here. Although I will be setting up a backup. That is not Discord. Right now I'm looking for a backup method just in case something happens to Discord or this server, something like that. I'll be looking for something like, I don't know, whatever. I got to look at the other options. So, yeah, I mean, y'all, if y'all want to vote on it, you could tell me whatever the general consensus is. I mean, y'all the ones using it, so one big group chat. VIX coming off hard there, right back up to the channel. How often do you see non-trading days like this? Not very often. Usually I take at least one trade, and I probably will. But right now, I'm just letting this thing do its thing. Do I think we will have a green week? I don't know. We have OPEX on Friday. I think it'll be a volatile week, but I'm not sure if we're going to have red or green. I don't want to make predictions because I don't want to form a bias. So it just needs to be something functional that we can use in the event that Discord goes down, or something where, like, for example, if the server goes down, I can set everything back up and we can still talk. So I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. I'll figure it out. Not to mention, I don't like the security of Discord himself. It's a very exposed platform. I didn't like the outside. Right back to that trend line, just under S2. So they just took off a lot of that 39.80. And big sell-off right there. Just over and over again. We're just repeating the same patterns over and over again. Sell-off, pop, sell-off, pop, sell-off, pop. Yep, another fake out. Man, look at that. We're going to have a big move into the afternoon, but where are we going to go? Nasdaq is kind of... Yeah, snooze part. Yeah. All right, what are they doing? So the European market's up 0.35. German market's a little taking a hit, but they recovered some of it. They were off big time. They recovered some of it there. Yeah, UK market's up is up green 0.35. Nothing crazy, but What do you prefer more, trading or flying? I like them both. Trading has offered me a very free lifestyle, and more control. Like I have control over my life over the past 10 years since I became more and more involved in trading. And flying is the same way. Flying is amazing. It's very freeing. Anyone who's actually piloted an aircraft, it's an incredible feeling, especially if you're way up high, if you're at a higher altitude. Hey, 4010. What's up, 4010? How you doing? A little bit of level there. I do have it. Yep, I don't have any. The only piece of equipment I have though is just a joystick, but I do have the software. Yeah, I've never traded while flying. No, that would be dangerous. They, in these circumstances, when they start building the order book, they start placing the orders, building the order book for their move. That's why, even though the market is sitting here relatively boring here, you still want to be attuned to what's going on around the market. Monitor liquidity. For example, they just put on this 4010. You want to monitor what are the bonds doing, what are the rates doing, what are the financial sectors doing, what are the other things doing, and then you can switch to different time frames. Zoom out, go to the daily chart, go to the weekly chart. Where are the levels that we need to look at? Start preparing for a particular move. Because that's when they start to build the order book. And then that's why a move does, the energy gets released and we get the big move either tonight or tomorrow morning. Still rejecting this trend line though. Aside from the sideways chop, it's been a very bearish day in terms of price action. Every green buyer has been smashed. They keep bringing it lower, so they can't string together more than a couple of greens. And now we're just kind of hanging out. We got 4 minutes till UK closes, so let's see if that brings any kind of movement into the markets. Yeah, tea leaf, that would be fantastic. That'd be incredibly fun. 3 minutes. UK is moving up. German markets are moving up. Although a little red right there. We are moving down again. So a lot of tech is not looking good. Amazon is about to test their lows again. Google is still hovering down there. Tesla is about to put in new lows. Nvidia is the same. And Facebook is still up, but doing its best to give it back. I did hear about that. Yeah, that was an incredible video. And I don't know if people fully understand how difficult that is. For an individual who has no flying experience to land an aircraft in a stressful situation like that. It's very difficult. I think it was last week sometime. Is the volume profile indicator still a good option if you don't have Bookmap? Yeah, those are different things though. Those are not the same, but it's still a fantastic. I use the volume profile every day for my analysis. Man, look at oil. Holy crapola. Oil just raged to 111. That explains energy. SPY. I guess I'm biking to work, yeah. CL. CL is the ticker for oil. I went to fill up my Tundra this weekend. I couldn't even get a full tank. It stopped me at $100, and I only had 24 gallons. And I have a 32-gallon tank. So that was fun. $4.15 a gallon, which is astronomical where I live. How come in movies the pilot is always out of fuel as soon as they get to the operating area? Actually, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. When you've got a fighter, because what they do is they yo-yo in and out. So when you've got an area like an operating area, right outside that area you've got a tanker that loiters, and then what happens? You've got two flights of fighter jets, for example, and they yo-yo in and out. So the one flight will go in, they'll do their business. They probably only have about 45 minutes of on-station time, and then the other two are hitting the tanker to refuel, and then they'll just go back and forth. They'll come out, hit the tanker, the other ones will go in, back and forth. So yeah, they don't have that very much. They don't have very long operating because of fuel. I would say 45 minutes to 50 minutes before they are Joker fuel, bingo fuel, and they got to head back. I just paid about $5. Yep. I'm about an hour north of NYC. $5.85 a gallon. Wow. It's crazy. Why do you always watch XLF? However, it's only 11%. Good question. Good question. Because the financials are the outlier. The financials are the banks. When everything is in unison, the XLF will be the one that's the wild child. So if the bonds are moving, if the rates are moving, you can expect the XLF financial sector to make a move commensurate with that action. So it's although it's not, from a percentage standpoint, it's not nearly the biggest. It's only the fourth biggest. It's still a very, very important X sector, and it can lead you to whether the price is going to move up or down. I've got a 2018 Tundra. It's an SR5, but with the upgrades I've done to it, it's basically a TRD. But I did it all aftermarket because I didn't want to pay $6,000 for a TRD wheel package alone. No thanks. Over 6 here in Cali. Wow. No wonder y'all are moving to my state. Hey, big flush off of the 21 EMA. Wow, look at this. Look at this. So there is the UK close, and it looks like we have our answer for which direction we're going to go. Big, big downside. $8.10 per gallon. It's crazy. And a big green. Reversed it. They reversed it. That was a good old stop loss to flush it. Where are they going with it now? Your guess is as good as mine. not sure. Murphy's Law or Murphy's Outlaw. Not sure. This is crazy. Don't really want to be involved in much of this price action. Let's figure out what's going on here. Still holding this trend right here. Right off of it. I'm going to zoom out just a touch and figure out if there's any multi-day trends we could pinpoint. Yeah. It is low volume, but that was a dump and then rage. So if we break above here with that kind of reversal, maybe a buyers will bring in after European dumps. I don't know. This thing is all over the place, so I'm just going to play it as it comes. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to call that a morning. It's been some pretty boring stuff here. A lot of crazy action here. I'm not sure where this thing's going to go, but I know where I'm going to go, and that's to the kitchen to make me some lunch. So thanks for hanging out. Let me know if you got any questions about the website that is online today. I posted a link into the description of the video, or the YouTube video, also in the general chat of the Discord server. So yeah, let me know if you got questions about that. That's something we will be reverting to here in the near future. So should be a lot of good information on there. So yeah, no plays today. If you did make a good play, well done. We'll see if we can get something going this afternoon if we definitely make a move outside of this range. But other than that, I'm going to get some things done behind the scenes here. So thanks for hanging out. Let me know if you got any questions. For YouTube, I'll see you back on Wednesday. For the Discord, hopefully we'll come back on this afternoon. Y'all take it easy. I'm out.